Which side are you on, boys? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, boys? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, boys? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, boys? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, boys? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, boys? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, boys? Which side are you on?
Mynydd y Betws derives its name from Betws, the village which is located directly beneath it, about a mile from Rhydaman on the River Aman. The village has a strong history as a mining community that has over time stood strong in struggle against tyranny and exploitation. Initially in the 13th century against the oppression of Anglo-Norman barons, and later against that of the coal masters. Today, Mynydd y Betws is part of the Sir Gar local authority, who in collaboration with the Welsh Assembly have sold off this common land to new robber barons in the form of renewable windmill masters, who are currently in the process of building a windmill plantation on the mountain, despite local opinion against such a development. ESB, the Irish utility company that are now building the wind farm, have established a work camp at Gaerfyrddin, and construction work on a road that will transport the turbines onto the mountain from this point via Nantamelyn Farm has been in process for some time, and already this is causing traffic congestion problems in the area. Eventually this road will stretch right across the mountain to the windmill plantation site. To date, resistance to the windmill plantation has been via Communities Together picket. They take turns on a rota to man a daily picket opposite the entrance road to the site at Gaerfyrddin. In the main, this picket is concerned about the transporting of gigantic turbines into the mountains via the community, and are monitoring and recording the volume of the heavy lorries and other heavy machinery entering the site, so that an accurate calculation of the effect of such prolonged activity on the community can be made. However, this year a second struggle has arisen, led by the Stryveland Homeland Defence Campaign Group, and this group has called for an occupation of Mynydd y Betws over the 8th and the 10th of June. This occupation will launch a campaign to stop the windmills from being planted. It will also draw worldwide attention to the fact that our heritage in the landscape is being systematically destroyed throughout our nation whilst construction works takes place for windmill plantations.
Now you can read a lot of books about the history of Wales, but I suggest you read one book. It's an easy read. It's called Rape of the Fair Country by Alexander Cordell. Read this and you might understand things a little bit better. Today I'm going to show you what it means to Mynydd y Betws and later to Mynydd y Gwair. As you can see here, they're well ahead with building this windmill plantation of 15 windmills plus an hub on Stryveland. Remember that word, Stryveland. It means the land of strife, because the Welsh fought for this land over 50 years, won it, and it was taken off them again, and it's been taken off them again to do this monstrosity here. Now you come up here in June and you take a look at this wonderful land and you'll just wonder why it's not been made a special land of interest and a national park. We should have a land act to take this land back and one day dismantle these windmills if we don't stop them in the meantime. Now come with me on this beautiful day and watch this wonderful countryside being ripped apart because of the greed of corporate global capitalists. Not because of climate change. They want profits, lots of money. They're not interested in climate change and all that greenwash. What they want is money, and you're helping them to pay for it in your utility bills and in your taxes and in the money the Welsh Assembly gives them and the European Union and the English government. So let's go for a little walk. where I am. I'm underneath the remains of Penllygauer Castle. Over here is Mynydd y Betws, upon which they're building 15 turbines. When those turbines are built, that beautiful view of the Brecon Beacons will not be the same. This land will not be the same. It will be destroyed for profit, not for climate change. Forget all that greenwash, it's rubbish. This is being built to supply England with cheap electric, like they get cheap water, and they got everything else cheap from us. And no matter what Plaid Cymru says, they want this for that, and they want that for this, you won't get it unless you fight for it. And the fight begins here, on Mynydd y Betws, otherwise known as Stryveland, the land of strife. Below me is the frontier of Stryveland. The Welsh fought from 1282 to 1334 to repossess all this land, and they won a great victory. They brought their frontier to that spot where those 3 roads are. One road leads from Swansea, one road leads from Hamanford and Carmarthen, and the other road leads from Avernedd. Wouldn't it be fantastic to see marches along those 3 roads in June, meeting at this point, then carrying on up there to the Betws barricade? Now that would be something. That would be more than electing councillors or AMs. That would mean the people are on the march. And what Plaid Cymru forgets, every struggle is won by a political struggle and an extra parliamentary struggle. For the pacifists of Plaid Cymru, I will remind you of Nero and the political struggle, but then Gandhi and the Salt March and the people's struggle. And the same goes in America. Without marches for civil rights, and the same in Ireland, without marches for civil rights and democracy, there would have been no struggles and no freedoms. So Plaid Cymru, please remember this. And I remind again why I'm picking on Plaid Cymru. It's supposed to be a nationalist party. Well, it's not behaving like one. And all this talk of independence does not fool me. How can a country be independent if it's still ruled by corporate robber barons from throughout the world? Because they will be ruling, or on Mynydd y Gwair, even worse, where an English aristocrat has held the land since the 16th century and is building more turbines. So this entire mountain plateau will be covered with turbines to make profit for robber barons, capitalists and shareholders in London and other stock markets. So please, no more greenwash, and let's get up here and start the fight back. And the fight back means C-O-R-N, corn, after our people with pitchforks had corn riots. And it means now, Cymru, onward, revolt now. And it begins here, and then it will finish over here after we've made all of Wales the land of strife until we are free.
Which side are you on, boys? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, boys? Which side are you